Okay, video 8. This is, I'm going to continue with June 11th for now, because this is the most important date we have to focus on to understand what's going to happen. In Stellarium, I'll throw in some constellations again. Okay, in Stellarium, the sun is going to be at dawn in Chicago, or Central Time Zone at 5 in the morning, 5:17 in the morning. And it'll be over the constellation of Orion, with the sun over the severity pillar of the sun, and Jupiter over the mercy pillar of the moon. Mercury will be in his own house of Gemini. And on the opposite side, here, you will have the moon. Had just gone under the horizon, but it's a full moon. It will be a full moon. But it's in Scorpio. This is the most important part, is that it's in Scorpio. This is where the Vatican, again, this whole thing comes from control of the world as well as money. This, all right, let me just, now from here, I'll show you the chart for the day. So here, the sun will be in the first house in Taurus, okay, and the moon over here under the shows here over the descending line, but then again I'm at 522 here. Let's see if we can change the 517 just like Stellarium. Okay, it's still showing above it, so I'm going to go back to where it was before. Okay, it's not precise, but now on this chart you see this is the part of fortune. This is an Egyptian calculation, and it's set right at the same degree as the moon at 522. That's why I have that on here, because that just seems very, very coincidental, and there's no such thing as coincidence. But the important thing here is, again, Jupiter. Let's stick to this for now. Again, Jupiter is in Gemini, even though it is over over Orion, the mercy pillar of the moon. And here you have Mercury, but here you have Mars. Mars is just going to have come out of Cancer, and it'll be in Leo. It's no longer in the water sign. That means cardinal fire will no longer be doused by water. It's going to be in fixed fire. This is going to be, as a teacher of mine, Levette, has said, this is where the horses come out of the stables running. This is going to be very intense, as well as she taught about the moon being here in Scorpio. This is where the Vatican does their dirty deeds. They feed the signs. Instead of energy coming from space to you, they are taking what is there and timing events to push energy back out into the sign, to feed the sign. Rather than the sign feeding you, they are feeding the sign, because they understand this system. They understand this. Okay, let me get a pause for a moment. And another system they have that's out there is in the Vedic system. I'm going to go to the nakshatras now. This nakshatra system is underneath the solar signs of, this is the sun's progression through a whole month, 30 different notches, 30 different notches, 30 different notches, 30 different notches. This is this, each line, each little notch is the sun's progression in a day. Okay, but in the same sign, because the moon travels at a different speed than the sun, rather than one notch a day to make 360 with a 5-day difference in these signs, in these notches. Instead of this, you have the moon's travel time and distance. This is the amount of time the moon travels in a whole 24-hour period, from here to here. The next 24-hour periods from here to here. This is in order to complete the entire same distance the sun travels in a year. This is how much the moon covers in a month. So that's why this system is here, and that's why it is a different system underneath. It's not lined up exactly, except in certain key points. Right here, 1, 2, 3. Again, oh, not again, but in a perfect triangle formation. This here is cardinal fire, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, they meet, where the sun sign and the moon sign meet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on this one, from here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, another fire sign. What a coincidence. Is there such a thing as coincidence in life? So here again was 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here, fire sign, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here we are at the beginning, again at Aries. What a coincidence. Straight, perfect system right here. This is the importance of the Vedic system, is that they are very precise in what they do. However, their value system that's what's throwing everything off, is the value system. They favor Jupiter and Mercury. Well, more so Jupiter. They favor Jupiter as the great teacher, with the moon as the great measurer. But that's not the only system there is out there. There is a lot of others. More than you realize, but we'll stick to this for now. I will go into that later. But as of right now, Mercury and the moon. This is a very important combination right now, right here on this day, on June 11th. The moon is in the nakshatra of Jyesta, in the last portion of 1, 2, 3, 4. Each nakshatra, each of these little houses is divided into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the last part. I have to pause for a moment. All right. Back. So the moon is in Jyesta, in the last portion of Jyesta, before it goes into the next nakshatra of into Sagittarius and Mula. So now the ruler of Jyesta is Mercury, which is over here. Mercury is actually here in the nakshatra of Ardra. Now, both of these nakshatras are ruled by deities, not just planets, but actual deities that of Hinduism. They do it like instead of planets associating with it, it's certain planetary energies of those planets, positive, negative versions of those planets, and that kind of basic thing. It's almost like associating a Marvel character to those areas, to those signs, rather than the actual planets. So for this one, it is Rudra. Both of these are Rudra, as well as, and they are different parts of Jupiter. Rudra is a storm god. Both of these are storm gods. This one is pure Rudra, but this one is Rudra with Indra, who is the king. But this one here is pure Rudra. So Mercury is in Rudra, the nakshatra of storms. That's where the moon is. The moon is showing what the reflection of life is. The first indication of life. This is your first experience of life, is what the moon is about, because it's the most obvious. Rather than the sun is the first thing that's given to you, whereas the moon is the first thing that you see, because it's softer light. Sun you feel. It's not welcome. It's not a welcome energy, but it's your first feeling. Whereas the moon is more of a softer thing that you find, that allures you. So that's why the moon being here in Scorpio, that's why the Vatican times their sacrifices here, as well as the Freemasons, according to Levet, which I do not doubt, the Masons do their sacrifices in Taurus. Both these right here, and which are opposite to each other. Another coincidence. Yeah, okay. So anyway, so this is going to be a storm period. There will be a storm on this day. They want this. Plus Mars being out of, being doused by water and now into fire, definitely going to happen, unfortunately. There are other indications. Let me pause for a moment. Okay, we're going to stick with stellarium for the last couple of minutes. In the next video, I will teach you a little bit more about nakshatras and the depths of that. But on this day, at 4:20 in the morning, I'm sorry, 5:20 in the morning in Chicago, sun will be between the two horns of Taurus, right under Capella, directly under Capella. He is the watcher. He is the celestial watcher. He watches the flock of the Pleiades, and he's going to watch what's going to happen this day. Bellatrix and Rigel. This is a regal sign, a wealth of a star of millionaires, and this here is the feminine war. Feminine war. And it's in the sign of severity, the pillar of severity. Jupiter directly on number one, the summer solstice point, when the sun reaches it, this will be the summer solstice. But it is also directly on the ecliptic, which means it is on par with the sun. So it's going to do what the sun wants that day. Here's Mercury in Ardra. Now Venus is in the sign of the whale, of Leviathan, of the Kraken, right here, sign of the beast. This is the people. This is the group consciousness right here. It is in Aries, but it is in the sign of the group consciousness. So this is what they're focused on. They want this energy. They're feeding what we want to see into the people, but it's not things we want to see. They want to see the show, they want to show the news feeds. Our eyes are open right here. Our eyes are open, and they're going to be feeding the beast, which is our mind. And I have to stop it right here.